Well, hey folks, real honestly with your Red London with New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 13 just around the corner. It's time for my predictions. We're 2 weeks away from the show, but before I get into the predictions, big thank you to everybody that has watched my New Japan content this year. I mean, including all the content that's been put up on this channel, whether myself, whether solo, or myself and my co-host Chris, aka the Durbinator on Twitter. It's been a total blast, but 8,000 plus views just in the New Japan videos alone. Thank you guys so goddamn much. Thank you for the great feedback from fellow wrestling fan to fellow wrestling fans. Thank you guys so goddamn much. I've loved Japanese wrestling since the 80s and 90s. Finally being able to watch New Japan live has been totally eye-opening. I love it, and I'm so glad that you guys have enjoyed what I've had to say, and I've loved what you guys have had to say. I'm also going to be doing a channel update sometime in the beginning of 2019 about what you can expect from this channel. Do not worry, channel's not going anywhere. I'm going to keep providing plenty of videos, though I may have times where I take breaks for a few days, and I hope you guys would totally understand that. But that's for another time. Wrestle Kingdom 13, almost 1 year since I've been reviewing New Japan live, and my god, it's been so fun, and this looks to be one hell of a goddamn card. 10 matches in total, one pre-show match, which I think is going to be absolutely tremendous, and one match that's going to kick off the main card. This is probably going to be one of the best matches of the year. So, we start off with not a New Japan Rumble. That's very unfortunate. You'll forgive me, I have my notes written down. I'm going to look down at those. But not a New Japan Rumble. Bit disappointed by that. But they found a way to get some people on the card and make a almost forgotten title matter. It's a number one contenders gauntlet match for the never openweight six-man tag titles, which are held by the Guerrillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, and Taiji Ishimori. And if you forgot about that, I don't blame you, because even though they carry the titles with them, the titles haven't been defended that much. So it is Taguchi, Yano, and Makabe versus David Finlay, Jeff Cobb, Michael Elgin, versus Chucky T, Beretta, and Goto, versus Minoru Suzuki and KES, Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr., versus Marty Scurll, Yujiro Takahashi, and Hangman Page. And I have Suzuki and KES winning this. Now, I can see Beretta, Chucky T, and Goto winning it, and then the next night, because the next night they get their title match against Guerrillas of Destiny and Taiji Ishimori. I could see them doing that and then having one of those three being revealed as the Mole in Chaos, and it would probably be Beretta because they want to pull a swerve. But I have Suzuki and KES winning this, because them winning and then them winning the titles in New Year's Dash the next day would actually be great, and you could have Suzuki and the two biggest guys on the team, or in the faction Suzuki-gun, be a great foil for various people for the next few months, and then they could lose the titles at like Sakura Genesis or something like that, or at Dominion Osaka. It would make the titles mean more. And it's not that God and Ishimori aren't good champions, but with what I think is going to happen here, it's probably just as well that you get the titles off of them and onto some fresh faces. So Suzuki and KES are going to take it here. So then we go to the opening match, never openweight title, the champion Kota Ibushi versus Will Ospreay, and oh boy, this is going to be absolutely great. This is going to be great. It's like if it's going to be anything like the exchanges they had at on that Road to Tokyo Dome Night 2 event, where they were on opposite sides of a team, Kota teaming with Kenny Omega, Ospreay teaming with Hiroshi Tanahashi. This is going to be absolutely great, and it's going to be probably the show-stealing match of the goddamn show. I personally would love to see Kota retain. I don't think Kota's going to retain. I think that Will Ospreay is going to get the victory. Now, would I be upset if Kota retained? Absolutely not. I think the match is going to be absolutely tremendous. One of the best matches of the year by far, but I think Will Ospreay is going to get the victory. And I think Will Ospreay getting the victory would be nice, because I think it could set the tone for Kota possibly going a little bit to the dark side, something like that. Him snapping, because who knows? I mean, but Kota, I'm scared what Kota and Ospreay are going to jump off of. Probably each other, and probably into the third row, and probably off of whatever staging they have, and probably off the New Japan. Kota will find a way to jump off the Tokyo Dome if he finds. I'm kidding. He's not going to find a way to do that. Kota's not that nuts. He is that nuts. They shouldn't let it happen, and they won't let it happen. But I think this match is going to be absolutely show-stealing, and I have Will Ospreay winning. I would not be opposed to either guy. I would not be opposed to Kota winning and retaining, but I think Ospreay is going to get the victory, and I love both guys. But anyway, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Titles next in a three-way. This is the first of two three-way matches for respective tag titles. Roppongi 3K versus Shingo and Bushi of LIJ versus the champions Kanemaru and El Desperado. And I have Roppongi 3K winning. Now, I originally had Shingo and Bushi winning, and I thought about it. I'm like, Shingo and Bushi winning wouldn't be bad. But at this point, Bushi's usually the guy that takes a whole bunch of losses. Shingo's still, he was revealed as a new member of LIJ, and a few months ago, and them winning wouldn't be bad. But I think Roppongi 3K gained the victory, and then feuding with Shingo and Bushi, or feuding with a few others, could be nice. They do need to get the titles off of Kanemaru and El Desperado, because let's be honest, they've been good champions, but it hasn't been great. And that's mainly because a lot of times they haven't been defending the titles. They have a few too many titles in New Japan. They need to find a way to work them all onto the card, or on the various cards, to make them matter more. But they've been good champions, just not great champions. It's time for a change. It's 300 plus days as champions. Because if they don't lose them here, they could lose them in New Year's Dash, but then what are you going to do? Have them pin Roppongi 3K and then have Shingo and Bushi beat Kanemaru and El Desperado the next night? Who knows? But I think Roppongi 3K are going to get the victory, and Rocky Romero will probably be cheering them on, unless Rocky is revealed as the mole. I don't know who the goddamn mole in Chaos is, and it's bugging me. It's bugging me so goddamn much, because it's going to be a swerve, and I'm going to be sad, because it's probably going to be Romero, but it's also going to be great. It's going to be sad. But now we move on to the British heavyweight title for Rev Pro. The champion, Tomohiro Ishii versus Zack Sabre Jr., and I'm going to make it simple. Zack Sabre Jr. is going to get the victory. Ishii has been a great champion. Him and Minoru Suzuki had a great war over the Rev Pro title, or, title for Rev Pro earlier this year. A couple matches I was able to see. Ishii, I think, has had the title since June or July. It's one of those two. Zack Sabre Jr. should get the victory here. Nothing against Ishii. He's my MVP of 2018, but he's had the title long enough. You could free him up to go for the Never Openweight title or something like that. It would be pretty damn cool. Though Chaos versus Chaos would be a little odd. But I think that Zack Sabre Jr. should get the victory here. He's had Ishii's number. If Ishii gets the victory, cool. I have no issue with it. But then I wonder where they're going to go with the title. I don't follow as much Rev Pro as I would like. Since my time is limited, I have a full-time job and I need sleep. But what little bit I've been able to see of Rev Pro, they have a really good stock of talent. So sure, somebody could conceivably beat Ishii for it, but Zack Sabre Jr. would be better, because he's just so insufferably good, and Ishii can be freed up, like I said, to go for a title. U.S. title, Intercontinental title, something. It'd be very interesting, but I have Zack Sabre Jr. getting the victory, and Taka's going to do one hell of an entrance for him, introduction like he always does. And then we move on to the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Titles, which is the Guerrillas of Destiny as the champions versus Evil and Sonata versus the Young Bucks. This is also going to be one that could potentially steal the show. It's going to be quite fun. I'm a bit down on the Bucks because I've never really cared for them. I think they're mostly video game wrestlers, though they have put more psychology in. And I did put over that match that they had a strong style evolved against the Golden Lovers, Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega. I think, personally, this will be probably the lesser of the two. And through no fault of the talent, but I think the junior heavyweights are probably going to tear it up a little bit more. And I have Evil and Sonata getting the victory. My problem is you're limited on what you can do depending on what teams win. If Guerrillas of Destiny retain, then they could lose the Never Openweight six-man titles the next night and whatever. If Evil and Sonata get the victory, then LIJ has some titles, and they'll get more gold later in the night. Don't worry, I'll get to that in a bit. But the Young Bucks, if the Elite is actually going to leave, because I guess they're done with Ring of Honor, including Skrull, Cody, Omega's not going to be making shots. Well, I mean, I think everybody still makes shots, but I think anybody that was under contract to Ring of Honor that was in the Elite is no longer under contract. And that's a bit of a shame for Ring of Honor, but that's another story for another day. That All Elite Wrestling could actually be happening. I think that Evil and Sonata winning would be the right call. They did win last year. And they could have a good run with the titles and then lose them to Best Friends, KES, if KES doesn't succeed in winning the Never Openweight six-man titles. Who knows? Maybe Ayato and Shota. You could have something like that happen. It would be very, very interesting to see what happens. But I have Evil and Sonata becoming IWGP tag champions once again. And then we move on to the U.S. title, the IWGP U.S. title. Cody, the champion, versus Juice Robinson. The man he took it from at Fighting Spirit Unleashed in September. I have Juice winning, I'll be honest, this is probably the one match I don't necessarily care about, and that's nothing against Cody, that's nothing against Juice. But I saw this match before, and it was a good match, and Cody winning was certainly shocking. But Juice is going to get the victory. Juice is going to win the title back, and he should. Cody didn't really need to be the U.S. champion. He was already the NWA champion at the time. But it was kind of cool to see him as a dual champion across two brands. But Juice is going to get the victory. This could be the sleeper match. It could end up being really, really good. This will probably be the one match where I'm not as interested in, even though I like both performers. But Juice is going to get the victory, no doubt. And then we move on to the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Kushida versus Taiji Ishimori. Kushida is a champion, and rumors are that Kushida may be heading to WWE. Possibly. Who knows? I mean, he's on their radar. He's also 35. I mean, I'm not trying to be ageist here. Kushida still moves incredibly well, but is he really going to want to go for, I mean, yeah, way more money, but is he really going to want to go with that kind of schedule when he could probably make really, really good money and be in control of his merch on, in New Japan? Who knows? Taiji Ishimori, regardless, is going to get the victory here because it's time for a change. Nothing against Kushida. He became champion and he did really, really well. And I mean, he's done really well. He's done really well as IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion a bunch of times. But Ishimori should be the one that they go with. They didn't go with him at the Best of Super Juniors, which is fine. I love that Hiromu Takahashi got the victory and then the unfortunate injury. But Taiji's going to get the victory here. Taiji should get the victory. And whether he has a run of like a month or a few months or whatever, you could build up another challenger to face him. Somebody, you could split off Sho and Yo if they don't win the titles, and you could have Yo be the one to beat him. It'll be very, very interesting, but I personally think that Ishimori winning would be the right call. Kushida don't go to WWE. Oh, well, if he does, it's his business, not mine. Grudge matches, I'm calling it Okada versus Jay White. Jay White. The Mole and Chaos is going to be revealed here. It's going to be somebody at ringside, or they're going to have Bullet Club out there, or they're going to have like Jado, and then they're going to have somebody, Jado and Gato probably, and then they're going to have somebody out there in Okada's corner, possibly Rocky Romero, Goto, somebody, and they're going to have that person turn on Okada. It's either going to happen tonight, or it's either going to happen on that night, or it's going to happen in New Year's Dash. We're going to get some big, big reveal about who the Mole and Chaos is. Watch it be Okada himself. That would be weird. That would happen, wouldn't it? Goto would be crazy enough to let that happen. But anyway, Jay White's going to get the victory. It should happen. Okada winning wouldn't bother me, but Jay White at this point, after not winning at Wrestle Kingdom last year, being U.S. champion and being the hottest heel, one of the hottest heels that they've had, if not the hottest heel, I think it would be the right call to have him get the victory. And then Okada could get his revenge later in the year, but Jay White could then prove that, he's better than Okada, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it'll be probably underhanded how he beats him, but Jay White should beat him. I mean, I love Okada. I mean, Okada is still going to be the Rainmaker and one of the mainstays of Japan. I mean, he's never going to not be in the title picture because I can English. But him taking the loss here isn't a bad idea because he's had enough victories at Wrestle Kingdom. Time to give it to somebody else. Okada's still young enough. He will get more victories. Jay White, they got to go with the hot hand and have him win. Now, should he get his comeuppance? Absolutely. But I don't think it should happen at Wrestle Kingdom. Jay White should get the victory. And then we move on to the IWGP Intercontinental Championship match. The champion Chris Jericho versus Tetsuya Naito, and Naito wins. Naito has to win because, and I love Jericho, I honestly do. Jericho, to me, he has reinvented himself. He has done well. I don't know if he's going to stick around New Japan after this show, if he's just going to make sporadic appearances. They need to not have him be champion again. Because it devalued the Intercontinental title. It did. And I'm not saying that's Jericho's fault. It's just the way it was booked. He won the title at Dominion in Osaka. Didn't defend it until Power Struggle against Evil. And now he's going to defend it again against Naito. Now, I'm not saying that Jericho should have been on every show. Obviously, he's a busy man, and less is more with him. But if you're going to make him champion, you got to have him defend on some shows here and there. And they didn't. He didn't even defend on the G1 finals. He didn't defend the Fighting Spirit Unleashed or King of Pro Wrestling or something like that. I mean, he did make an appearance at King of Pro Wrestling. But anyway, Naito needs to get the victory. Yes, he doesn't win the Intercontinental title, but he wants revenge on Jericho. And that will build to him being champion. Maybe till Sakura Genesis. Naito could win the G1, who knows. And Naito could win the title at Wrestle Kingdom 14. Yeah, it'd be long-term storytelling, but it'd be pretty interesting. Unless, of course, he somehow loses the title to Sakura Genesis and gets, somehow gets number one contender spot at Dominion Osaka. It would be very interesting. But he's going to beat Jericho. We're going to have a new champion. And this is the difficult one. The main event, IWGP Heavyweight Championship, the champion Kenny Omega versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. I want Tanahashi to win. I do. I would like to see Tanahashi get one more run. One more run with the championship. I would not be opposed to Tanahashi getting one more run. Kenny Omega is going to win. Kenny Omega is going to win. Tanahashi's glorious hair will not save him from the One Wing Angel. Even with the Elite leaving, it wouldn't feel like a step backwards if Tanahashi won, but my question is would his body hold up? Would he be able to be champion? How long would he be able to be champion? Would you just give it to him till New Beginning in Sapporo and then have him lose? If they, do it in Sapporo again this year or next year. Tanahashi getting the victory isn't a bad idea, and I would love to see it happen. I would pop for it. I would actually love to be wrong on this, but I think Omega's going to get the victory because Omega had that journey to finally get it. Those 3 matches with Okada in 2017, they were all of varying great quality. And finally beating him in July of last year, and then finally beating him for the title in June of this year. And it was a great moment. Now, you could say his title reign's been a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's been hit and miss. I would have liked to have seen him on more of the cards. That's my personal opinion. I kind of, like people got used to Okada and other champions in the past making more, shots and matches and stuff like that, even if they weren't defending the title. But Kenny Omega's going to get the victory here. If Tanahashi wins, it'll be a great moment, and I will not complain one damn bit. But that's what I have happening. I have a lot of titles changing hands, except the main title. Now, if Omega loses, who knows what's going to happen? The Elite, this All Elite Wrestling thing could be good. It could be whatever. But that's what I have to say. So those are my Wrestle Kingdom 13 predictions. I hope you guys have enjoyed them, and let me know what your predictions are in the comments. Who do you think the Mullen Chaos is going to be? Because I don't think it's going to be Chucky T, because I think that's too much of a red herring. But anyway, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Rittland 2 weeks ago to Wrestle Kingdom 13. I can't wait. See you soon.